I am Ettore Volontieri. I am an artist manager. I'm working in the music business since 1989, so it's about 33 years. I have been the manager of Alexander Toradze between 1993 and his death, and beside this, a great friend of Lexo. Here in Georgia, I would say quite often. My first time was in 1992 when I came to visit Jansun Kahidze, and since then I felt always very attracted, naturally attracted to this country and to the people of this country. In fact, I was in touch with Nino and with Ettore, who is the artistic director of the festivals since the very beginning of the conception of the festival. But I also know that Georgia is not an easy country and needs time to process projects and ideas. And honestly, I was very positively surprised when I came here to see how solid and professional is the organization of the festival. I am thrilled to see so many young people in the staff of the festival enthusiastically working. I see many friends helping, supporting this festival. I think, of course, personality like Lexo deserved this attention. But when you see that things are happening the right way, of course, it's a very pleasant surprise. I met Lexo Toradze first time in New York. It was August 1990, and I was in New York to meet with Valery Gergiev and to discuss with him the first Italian tour of the Mariinsky Theater under his leadership. And Lexo was suddenly showing up at my meeting with Maestro Gergiev in a cafe in New York, in Manhattan. And of course I was immediately fascinated and touched by his personality, by his friendship, openness. And then I had my first professional opportunity to work with him in '93, the season 92-93. He was performing with Santa Cecilia Orchestra in Rome. Valery Gergiev was the conductor and Lexo Toradze was the soloist, and I was asked to take care of his contract, and I became his Italian representative. And so I started working with him. Sense of the story he was telling through the music was absolutely fascinating. I was shocked. I was not very familiar with symphonic repertoire. I come from the opera world. I studied singing, so for me opera is very familiar. Is day by day bread. I knew many opera by heart, but the symphonic repertoire was not my daily bread, and Shostakovich even less. I mean, it was the first time I was hearing Piano Concerto No. 1 by Shostakovich, and I was just blown up by his playing. So it was the beginning of then a long story, a lifetime story. He was profoundly Georgian as a man, as a character, in the way of sharing the pleasure of life with as many people as possible, with his very direct way of communicating his emotions, his agreements and disagreements, his very great honesty, human honesty, which was also a character of his own personality. I mean, of course, he was a Georgian, but I would say he was something more specific. He was Lexo Toradze. What is the limit between professional and private relationship? It was an overall package. I miss a lot his physical presence. I miss talking to him. I miss sharing Sometime I remember, I was driving in the middle of the night and I called Lexo because he was in America. It was a good time for him. It was maybe early evening or late afternoon for him. And we started talking and we spent an hour at the phone talking about business, but mainly talking about life. So of course I miss this side of Lexo's presence in my life. But for me, Lexo is with us. Lexo is here in the festival, is still inspiring us, is in the music he recorded and is left to us, is in the memories, in the many, many great moments we spent together, is in the eyes of his family members, even the small ones which I meet here in Tbilisi. I mean, life is part of our presence in the world, and it's not the main part.